Hi, my name is Lori Popovich, and this is Regina Enns, and we are co-owners of Main Stage Center for the Arts. Hopefully, the following information will answer any questions regarding job descriptions for the performance. If you have any further questions or concerns, please contact us at info@mainstagedance.com and we'll be happy to answer them. We want the performance to be a great experience for everyone. Our helpers are a vital part of making the show run smoothly. Thank you in advance for volunteering your time. We greatly appreciate it. We would really appreciate if all helpers could be at the auditorium 1 hour prior to showtime. Your job is the most important job backstage. Your main concern is for the welfare of all children performing. All helpers are assigned a group, and it is your responsibility to make sure the needs of those children in the group are met. We count on all of our backstage helpers to make sure the children are well taken care of. First of all, you want to make sure that all bathroom needs are taken care of regularly. We don't want to have any accidents on stage. In room A, we will be showing a video for the little ones to keep them occupied. Please keep children occupied by reading, telling stories, watching the video, coloring, playing games, etc. Please try to keep children neat and tidy with hair and costumes. Before the dancers go out on stage, make sure their headpieces are secured with bobby pins. Make sure that their tights are pulled up so that they're not baggy around the knees or the ankles. Make sure their ballet slippers, their little strings are tucked in their shoes, and with tap shoes or tennis shoes or jazz shoes, if they have ties, make sure that they're double knotted so that they don't come undone when they're out on stage. When your group is called, you're going to line up at the door, and then the runners will take them out into the hallway. You will accompany your group out into the hallway. The runners will then take them backstage. They will perform. They will come off stage. The runners will bring them back to the hallway, and you will take them back to the room. If your child or any child in your group is in more than one dance, you want to make sure that their costume is changed and then take them to the next group that they'll be performing with. If you have a child in your group that has a quick change, make sure that they remain backstage, and the quick change moms will take care of their costume changing. Every other year is a production year. And those production years are usually a story that we tell, like Peter Pan or Alice in Wonderland or Wizard of Oz. And at our last show, so that would be the second night, it is your responsibility to make sure that you collect all the costumes of the children that are in your group after they have finished dancing. Then those children must change into street clothes and usually our performance t-shirt so that they are ready for the finale. Bags will be collected at the end of the night. As a helper, it is your responsibility to get all early release children lined up at the door so security can come and pick them up. Okay, the fun begins. We're at finale. So what's going to happen is you're going to make sure that your children are lined up and ready to go backstage approximately 20 minutes before finale. There'll be somebody that comes backstage, usually one of the runners or a backstage supervisor or a teacher will come back and say, okay, it's time to get lined up for finale. You will line your children up, they will go backstage, they'll line up out in the hallway first. And it's quite a long process, so it takes a little time to get everybody ready. I know you're thinking 20 minutes, wow, that's a long time, but it goes by pretty quick. So they line up out in the hallway. Once the music begins, the kids get to go out on stage, they do their final bow. All the helpers are to report back into the dressing room, especially in room A. You are then to stay there until each child in your group has been picked up. Once they have been picked up, then you're free to go. And for those helpers that are in room B, It's not important that you stay there the whole entire time because those kids are a little bit older, they're more responsible, and they know who their parents are. So you can leave right after finale is over. This job description is for the backstage runners. Backstage runners, it is your responsibility to pick up the children from their dressing room and line them up out in the hallway. You'll have a list of how those children should be lined up and in what order. It is also your responsibility to make sure all laces are tucked in and shoestrings are double knotted, and to double check to make sure all of their headpieces are on the correct way. When they're finished with their dance, then it is your responsibility to take those children back to their dressing room. Now we're on to security. Your job is to collect tickets at the beginning of the show and help people to their seats. During the show, your job is to stay posted at the doors of the auditorium to make sure people only enter and exit the auditorium in between numbers. Your job is also to make sure that there are no video cameras, there are no flash cameras, that people are not eating in the auditorium. Also to make sure that dancers are not entering the auditorium. Dancers are not allowed in the auditorium at any time, so please keep an eye for that. Now let's talk about head of security and their assistant. Your first job would be to sign in the children as they come to the auditorium and enter backstage. This way we know that all of our children are present and we can start our recital on time. Your second job would be to make sure that the children are ready for early release at intermission. You have to make sure that you check each parent's driver's license to make sure that the child is being released to the correct person. That parent then has to sign that child out, and you have to put a time and date on that. And the other job would be that you are to troubleshoot any problem that the other security workers cannot handle that may happen in the auditorium. Your final job would be to have about 10 parents at a time at the end of the show go back to pick up their children. Stagehands, you have a fun job because you get to work with all the props and the special effects. We need you there for every dress rehearsal and every show if you possibly can. If you can be there early enough to help set up, that would be fantastic. Your job is to make sure that all the props are to be put on stage at the right time, that you are doing the special effects, like if we have smoke or if we are using dry ice, or sometimes we use pyro, it just depends. So it really is a fun job. Just remember that you have to wear all black because you don't want to be seen if you have to go on stage to maybe pick up a headpiece that fell off, or something was lost in a costume or whatever. So you want to make sure that you wear all black. And then your final job would be to tear down at the end of the night and help us load up. So that would be at the last show. Okay, now we're on to lobby helpers. If you can arrive 1 hour early prior to showtime, that would really be great. Your job is to help set up the concessions and flowers and to sell before the show and during intermission. And then after the show, if you could just kind of hang around for a few minutes to help us take everything down, that would be great.